Boy, that command doesn't work yet. My mic was off. Every single time. Hello, though. Hi. This should work. But, yes. This is a fancy little screen. Oh, hi, you're over there. I thought you were going to be over there. Why are you over there? Wait. Okay, not that one. Yeah, over here. A little bit. Ah, there we go. Okay, I didn't have that set up properly at first. Sorry. I just took for granted that would be in the right spot. Still though. Hello. Hi. It's, well, I haven't done just chatting yet. But I was thinking with I've always said I was like Roboticist VTuber, and I've basically done nothing for robots. Excuse me. So I thought tonight it might be kind of fun to take the idea and basically I want to go over some of the actually, is the BGM too loud? Maybe. And this can go up. Okay. So yes. Because I haven't done much with robots, I want to go over some of the competition stuff that I used to do, and also, like, there was so much just absolute fun designs that I saw, and I kind of want to go over like the different ones. This was back like I'm 25, I think. This would be over 7 years ago. So I'm trying to remember robot designs from 7 years ago that I built. But they were fun. They were so much fun. And I want to share it, you know? It's probably not the normal thing, but I figured, why not? Also, apologies, you're about to get flashbanged. So, sorry. Yeah. 1 second. While this loads, it always does this. And so that your eyes don't bleed. There we go. Okay. Actually, no, we had a pole dancing robot. I kid you not. There was a pole dancing robot. Yes. Look, I'm going to be drawing these for a reason. because really they're fun. Um, actually, I'll go ahead and make my pen white. Yes. No. But it was a simple one. It was a very simple one that pretty much anyone could make. Oh god, if I draw it, it's gonna look very bad, I just realized. Well, you know what? Drawn it anyways. So, the original, the original robot, was a big one. And this little tiny, actually, this was the first, like, legitimate competition I was in. And it was nerve-wracking to say the least. I had just started high school, way back. This was before the lab work. This was before all the professional work. I was a hobbyist and got into it. But the original was, I basically started off in high school, and the teacher was like, hey, I was thinking about doing a robotics team. Is this something you would be interested in? I'm like, yes, I love robots. They're awesome. And he's like, cool, you're the captain now. Like, huh? You're gonna make me captain right off the bat? We don't even have anything established. Excuse me? You wouldn't put a senior? So I had seniors under me. And every other grade. Yay! It was a lot of responsibility. But the theme for that year was actually pole dancing robots. So the pole was basically, you had a base. I think it was like a foot off the ground. And then you had a metal pole in the center. That is a great pole, by the way. And then a little thing up top with all sorts of lights and stuff. So what you had to do was you had to somehow get a robot onto this pole. Straight as spaghetti, yes. After it's been boiled. But you had to take, you know what, I'm going to take this and move this over here. I don't want anything behind me. Thank you. I control everything on this screen. Like, I can just go over here and be like, ha, I see you over there, you color editor. Come over here. Yes. And it does. Back with you. Okay. I'm having fun with this. I'm sorry. So, pretty much you had to take your little, robot dude, and he had to somehow go right up the pole as fast as possible. You had, 15 seconds. And you had to send that little thing all the way up as fast as it can go. Hey, Darkfire, I'm going over robots. Specifically, the first robotics competition I did. I kind of noticed I never did anything with robots, so, you know, let's have fun. So, yes, 15 seconds to go all the way up this pole. I think the pole was 10 to 15 feet. One of the things was, number one, you had to get them up, but you also had to get them down. They wouldn't help you get them down. So, once the robot made it all the way up here, you had to either have it go down, or make it sturdy enough to survive a 15-foot drop. And with the technology, you don't want to be too rough with it. By the way, this is just one of the tasks that we had to do. This was like the bonus task. So, the robot that we made, I do remember this. It was very simple. Pretty much you had... God, this is where it's going to look bad. But you had a wheel, a wheel. The pole would go in here. There was a magnet back here that would attach to the pole because the pole was metal. And pretty much switch right here. A little like toggle on and off switch. You know those ones where you like push down and the other end goes up. It's one of those. So that was right here. And pretty much at the very top, there was a little... We basically used almost a drill bit. This one did not. This is... You see, we had to build a robot inside of a robot. Robotception. So we actually did take we made a small robot inside of our robot that we could just shove out. Trust me, this is only like a very tiny piece. There will be more layers to this. I like this. I love this design so much. This was so much fun to create. It was our first one too. It looked amazing. And God, I love this so much. But yeah, so there was a little thing right here that would hit a kill switch. So once it hit the top of the pole, it would just, well, it would pass out, for lack of a better term. So this was all in a neat little package. And it had a couple motors here, motor here, and yeah. These would rotate this way and this way. Now, the thing is, this little thing was dangerous. This was a dangerous little sucker. It wasn't fully enclosed. So, someone had some loose piece of cloth on them. And that got stuck right in here. It started climbing up their cloth towards their neck. There was no injuries, by the way. All of my stuff is... Well, you know what? All of my stuff, there is no reported bodies. That's the important part. Okay? No bodies. So, that is pretty much our miniature robot. But see, that's the very lowest part. You see, the fun comes in when you start going into the next layer. So, shine that away. You know what? You ain't ever gonna know. It might be high, it might be low, but you ain't gonna know. Yeah. But to send it out, we basically used drawer slides. It might be. So drawer slides, pretty much, you know, you have them. You have them here, and then you got like a little slide in here, and then that shoots out to about double sized. About here. Now, to get it out there, what we did was we attached pneumatics. A little pneumatic cylinder thing attached to the very end that would shoot out with a whole bunch of PSI. The pneumatics were a pain in the butt to build. I'm going to be straight up. Pneumatics are an absolute pain in the butt. Trying to get all the tubes and stuff. Well, the thing is, it's not too difficult. What's difficult is when you're trying to build behind specifications. See, we had a weight limit, we had a cost limit, we have a limit on like how much power we can use. We can't make it... In other words, they don't want you to have a quote-unquote NASA robot. Which some teams still did, and it was just like, oh my god, really? You had that custom built for you. You didn't do this. Have some pride in your work. Be a prideful robotic engineer. Build your own robots. Sorry. People need to build their own. It's easy. It's fun. And I love it. Actually, let me, boop. I'll get a little bit bigger here. Next up on the list, this. This is dangerous as well. Everything in this robot's dangerous. But basically, our mentor forgot to power off the robot before touching its, thing. And again, these things like to aim for the neck for some reason. So it basically shot out, pretty much, it goes from here to here. I think that's like 2 feet. Within half a second. So it moves pretty fast. 2 feet in half a second. That slams out. It's got a good piston. Trust me, we made our stuff high grade. We wanted to make sure that it was proper. Ooh, this is going to be on the chat a little bit. Hold up. Yes. So, yeah, this was how we would launch the mini robot out of our main bot. It's a little bit simple, but at the same time, you don't need it to be overly complicated when you think about it. When you have, like, amateurs going at it, a lot of them might be thinking, actually, you know what? I'm going to change the title real quick. Robot. Okay, updated. But yeah, so man, this was God, I really love this competition. Actually, the second one was even better. That's the second robot is the one that almost destroyed a jewelry section at a store. This one didn't. This one, however, was like our flagship robot. That was our first robot. It was our... God, we were proud of it. It ran. It worked perfectly. We could do demonstrations with it. We were able to show it in front of the entire school. It was awesome. Oh, hold up. Gotta get some water. I'm talking a lot. Good water. Alkaline oxygenated water, pH 9.5. Delicious. You know, kind of mostly. But that's also kind of where I found out I really like submarines. I really do love the ocean, like deep water, especially with robots, the robotic stuff. They had a little simulator that I could get in and like control, and it was awesome. I loved it. I love simulators. Like where you get to have all the controls and like do the tasks and stuff. And like I want to actually have a robot like that. I wanted to build one. They look amazing. Having a robot just go underwater, it's cool. It basically flies, except in liquid. It's great. Sorry, I love robots. On the end of this drawer slide, by the way, so straight out, this is where we would actually put, so we had the main bot right here. I'll just put like a meh. Okay, so the little robot would be right here. So bam, 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 bam. Okay, so the little robot would be right here on the drawer slide with the piston next to it. And then once the bonus round starts, this shoots out. God, it went right for my neck. Why is everything aiming for the neck right now? Hold up. Rewrite history. Hey, no longer at my neck. But it would shoot out this much. Ooh, let me check some. Ah, sorry. I had to do a little something. Yes. This is what happens when you have, a whole bunch of little, like, things that, basically you have high school students working on. It ain't gonna be safe. Thankfully, this year we only had, 2 potentially reported, injuries. No injuries, though. That was the next year, because people were being stupid. Don't be stupid around technology. Like, oh my god. It wasn't even on a robot that they injured themselves. At least if you're gonna get injured, make it fun. Instead, what they did was they got on a freaking piece of plywood. And one of them, like, it was a ramp, like a tilt. It was like a tilty ramp, so like a seesaw. One of them, like, laid face down here, like, oh boy. Yay. And, basically, someone pushed down, they lifted up, and then they let them drop. And, needless to say, they sang a bit of opera for the next, day. Yeah. They felt it. They, physics. 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 So. Oh, how does it work to build the process of robot? Like, first you think of a theme, kind of robot, or etc. Okay. So, with these competitions, you kind of have, like, a base idea of what goes into a robot. Actually, I'm done with this part, so I can go ahead and hide this. I'll make a new layer. So pretty much, we have, like, you start with the basic knowledge. So, and not everyone knows everything about how to build a robot. Like, me personally, I know a lot, but my programming is terrible. The only programming language I know at any point is LabVIEW. That's the closest I know of anything. My specialty was in the design process. Designing how the robot would function, managing who would work on what sections, etc., etc. I was the captain. I was pretty much the brains behind the operation. And I had to, like, point people in different directions. That's how it worked. So, with the competitions, early in the year, we would get a, basically, the competition people would give us a prompt. It was an international competition, and essentially, we had 6 weeks. Was it 6 weeks? Yeah, it was 6 weeks. Dang. We were fast. We had 6 weeks to design, build, program, and get our thing up and running, while doing school as well. It was a lot. It was an absolute ton, but it was fun. We also had to get our own sponsorships. So, yeah, robots are expensive. Very expensive. These robots, I believe, we valued around $10,000. Like, the actual main computer of it was worth, like, 1,000 on its own. It was nuts. But, yeah. So, the basics. There are when I think of the process to building a robot, there's several things I kind of delegate. So the first one, drivetrain. Now the drivetrain, it may not seem like it's something that too many people need to work on, but basically they're the ones that pretty much, they work with the gearbox, they work with the motors for the wheels, and they have to set up the chains and stuff and the base all in order. The standard base would basically be like this, like that, and then wheel, 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 wheel. And they need to make it to where it wouldn't interfere with bumpers on the side. Also, our robot needed bumpers. So that it would actually run. In the competition, it was required to have bumpers. We need to make our own bumpers, by the way. That was pretty much fabric and pool noodles. It worked. The wheels were interesting. Wheels you wouldn't think would be interesting, but there's a lot to them. So with a robot like this, the directions it can go are basically forward, backward, and if you do it right, it can go like that, it can go like that, like that, like that, and then it can also turn. So like that, and do like turn on a dime, or like not even on a dime, it would turn in place. Let me go ahead and quickly go to do not disturb mode. Sorry. Ba 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 ba. Okay. There we go. All right. So this is how ours would run. It was the simplest design, easiest to do. It could also be done with 4 wheels. But 6 gave more stability for what we wanted to do. Now, you also had robots that could go forward, backward, left, and right. Yeah. I know directions. But it wouldn't have to turn. It would basically, it's like if I took a if I took this and I just went beep beep, it could do that. It could also go this way, and then it could also turn and the like. Those had a specific set of wheels. It was interesting. Let me show you how they looked. So, where is it? Yeah. Okay. Sort of. Somehow they could control it. Heck, you could even control these things with an Xbox controller. It was, actually, not even just an Xbox controller. You could control these things with a Kinect. You could control your robot with a Kinect. Use a camera like an iToy, do the movements, and you could control a robot. It was wild. Some teams did it, not many, but some did, and it was like, oh my god, that is cool. It was awesome. So, the difference in the wheels though. Normal wheels are flat. So, it would pretty much have a drivetrain through here, the gear around here, and then, you know, turn. Now, the special wheels, the ones that allowed you to do all the every which way, whatever Wonka Vader style driving, those, they were a lot odder. See, they looked like, kind of like a similar wheel to start, but they had rollers all along this. And it pretty much, I still don't understand completely how they work. I want to. But yeah, these things had a roller on them that would allow them to literally, when you programmed it right, go every which way you wanted. They actually have, oh, I just remembered I remember the company. I remember the company that made these things. Wait, no. Okay, they make a conveyor belt that's similar. I remember because I saw it and I was like, oh my god, that is the same thing. Interlocks conveyor belts. I think that's it. Videos. I'm gonna turn my desktop audio off for a second, just in case. Okay, so, I can, let's see. Okay, I can pull this down just a little bit. So, this is, yes, I watch a lot of stuff. But this right here. So, watch what happens with these packages. This is how their wheels worked. So it goes along and then it just sends it whatever which way. They could do that with the robot. And it would shove it into the right spot. I don't know how this works, but it is amazing. And like, God, these conveyor belts are awesome. Like, look at this. It does, but it's amazing. I mean, look at that thing. It literally just swaps it wherever. And that is one continuous belt. I want so many of these belts. I wish I could hook them up every which way and whatever and do stuff. It would make stuff so amazing. Like, look at this. Oh, it's amazing. Hey, Pizza Hut. Doing good. Just going over a bunch of robot stuff. We're showing off how these kind of wheels right here work. It wasn't Wade actually. It wasn't Wade that did this. It was more just the programming and sensors. If you could sense like the color or the detection of something, then you could make something do it. However, in the case of driving the robot, oh yes. Well, I'm not good at these wheels. These wheels right here are complicated as hell. But I know how they work. For the sake of time and for simplicity on a robot, we didn't use them. But I do know teams that did. Yeah, with these, no, actually. Because a tank belt just goes forward and backwards. These could move side to side as well. That's where the complicated part comes in. Which that's fun. But the wheels themselves would actually, since you could program them to drive, you would set up the wheels, these wheels, with the right programming so where you hit directions on joysticks or whatever, and it would go in whatever direction you pleased, Wonka Vader style. Actually, I'm just going to call it, from now on, I'm calling that Wonka Vader style. That is the best term for it. It's some magical elevator thing that just goes whatever which way. Except up. No one goes up. Hey, Diamond. Hello. I'm talking a whole bunch of robots. Also, if you missed it, I'll recap real quick. So, our first thing, we had a pole dancing robot. Basically, it was a little robot that would go straight up a pole. You know what? I'll take it. I need it. I need water so bad. Thank you. Thank you. So, we had our miniature robot that would climb up a pole, hit a little thing at the top, and we had to get it down after. It would basically fall and survive a 15-foot drop. After that, I talked about how we deployed it. 1 second. And to deploy it, we basically used a drawer slide and pneumatic system that would send it out and shoot it out the front of the robot right here. Let's see. I was directly involved in 2 as the main designer, and then I got hired as a mentor and check up for another. I was a volunteer helping out with one of the competitions for younger kids. They had a Lego one. Ooh, he just... I only see the hydrate. You missed the stretch. You slipping. But I've also built... The thing is, Lego robots are also valid. They may not be big, but they teach you the basics, which is incredibly important. So... excuse me a second. Okay. So, yeah, I've gotten a lot of experience with robotics. Look, here's the thing. My IRL lore is so good, I made it my VTuber lore. So I wanted to go over, like, what I've actually built. I just find that fascinating. Oh, and then if you're curious what this is, that was from the next competition, where someone smacked themselves. How do I put this? They smacked themselves into processor units, and to the point they could sing opera. They were promptly kicked from the robotics team. Yet. It's dangerous metal. Please be safe around your robots. They are dangerous. They don't want to hurt you, but they will. Please be careful around robots. Trust me, 100% safety goggles. Oh my god, wear your safety goggles. Please wear your safety goggles. Oh, Geology Camp. That should... Dude, that's gonna rock. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Anyways. So this was part 2. Then someone asked, I think CR asked me, like, what goes into building the robots. Where we literally had 6 weeks from a prompt to build it. I'm so proud of that one. So, first one is the basics. So I was going to go over, like, each of the basic things I did. The first one is drivetrain. And that's kind of how you have to make sure that the wheels work. They're all level. The chains work. There's enough chain. There's not too much chain. And that it can fit bumpers all around it, as well as motors and gearboxes and stuff to make sure it has enough power to do what it needs to do. So that is the, like, base part. People are needed to do that. It is a good thing to organize. Next is electronics. My part. So, the electronics of it. This would be... we had a lot of stuff to this. Jeez. So, main thing is, you pretty much have a main computer box. Arduino bots are valid. If a robot runs, does a function, it is a robot. It counts. Anything is a robot, basically. As to how complicated they can be, Arduino bots ain't got nothing on this. These were like $10,000 robots. They were expensive, but God, they were fun to build. I love this section so much. So the electronics, pretty much, you had a main computer that would tell things what to do. So we had little motor controllers that it would plug into, and they would tell the motor go one way or the other way. And actually, these little things, these little motor controllers, on our second one, it ran too long, and it kind of burnt. With enough time and funding, maybe? But those are complicated little things. If you want something to run on wheels, it's easy. As soon as you add in legs, yay. That's complicated. Very complicated. Because then you have a whole bunch of math and stuff to figure out the physics of how it balances. I'm a little bit lazy. I like making fast robots. Or making them fast. And a Boston Dynamics robot takes a lot of time. Yeah. Do you know how much time it took to get this body working? It took so much. Yes, a very long time. Oh, you mean in the robot itself? Yes and no. You'd essentially have to teach it. Well, the thing is, the problem with algorithm learning is it would be going one direction. So it would just be going straight. That's kind of how the algorithm would work. And you would have to have it do it like 50 million times for it to go straight without failing. But then how do you teach it to turn? To go back? To do all of this on command? That's where the algorithm learning would have an issue. At least in my opinion. Programming wasn't my strongest suit, but you would need to... Oh, my connection had an issue. You would need to basically... God, you would have to train it for every possible movement. Forward, backward, left, and right. And with them, they can even kick their robot and it stays standing. That's not algorithm learning. That is basically a physics processor running so fast that it can calculate, oh, this is having an issue, balance it out. Yes, gyroscope stuff. That's exactly it. So that comes down to programming the physics, not necessarily artificial learning. Artificial learning can have some uses in it, don't get me wrong, but in terms of the balancing part, you need a gyroscope. That would be the number one way to. You could possibly do something with a distance sensor, or like several of them, but that gets... It's a lot easier to use a gyroscope, a lot more compact is the word to put it. Pretty much the computer part of the electronics is like the brain of the operations. And it took a really long time until... Yeah, so it could then climb the stairs, but what if you wanted to stop on the stairs, then go? Or somehow turn left on the stairs, take a bit of a curve, and then go straight up. That's where the AI learning would fail. Because then it would have to learn all of that stuff again. In fact, it would have to learn for each task you wanted to do. A single step to the right? Which one doesn't fail? There's a lot. Yep. That's exactly what I'm saying. But yeah. Back to the robot. I feel like something... Weird. So the electronics were basically the brains of the operation. Beep, beep. Whatever. That's a brain. Close. That's a brain close enough. That other one didn't look right. Whoops. Um, sorry. Um, and pretty much this would go. Technically, you could. I wouldn't recommend it. There's a unless the person specifically wanted to try. Okay, but how do I put this? They wouldn't be able to function. They might understand in the mental capacity that something was happening, but it's kind of like think of taking your arm off and then putting a prosthetic arm on it and then trying to learn how the muscles on that new arm works. Like, you might feel something there, but you wouldn't be able to process how to do it necessarily. Now, that's not to say that you can't control a robot with your mind. There are ways to scan brainwaves to control robots. But actually plugging a person's brain in. Oh, electrons with human brain capabilities. I like that idea. I would totally do it. I'd want my creation to be alive, just like me. I will make Ultron. So yeah, there are two parts to electronics though. You have the computer stuff, and then you have the power pack stuff. Why would I want to shut it down? It's my child. I'm keeping my child alive. The power, though, would go to motors. Or the motor controllers. And, pretty much both of these would output into a motor. That is a crappy straight line. Yep. There we go. It would be. It would be. I'd feel bad, you know? I gave something life and I'm gonna do that to it? That would hurt. But yeah, so pretty much you had the brains of the operation, the power of the operation. Both go to a controller that powers a motor of some sort. And that's basically how the electronics work. It's kind of like a person. You have to eat food to power yourself. Your energy is then controlled by the brains of the operation. Let's see. Okay, so you're powered by the brains of the operation. You get energy from the food, and then that makes everything move. Then you go, ah, like that. And that's basically the size of electronics. Really basic. Very easy. Honestly, a basic robot, going back to this, hold up. This was basic. This cost, I think we powered it with, small rechargeable batteries, like a 9-volt. Yes. That is why I love talking robots. Um Actually, it's already been an hour. And we're not even partway through this thing. There is a lot to this robot. We're gonna have a second stream later on for the second robot. Absolutely. Um, so, yes. With this one, this is a basic one. It is literally one of those, push to toggle switch. Nope. Push to toggle switches right here. Yes, but you didn't build the Roomba. I'm talking about building one from scratch. That can be just as dangerous. Please don't use robots for dangerous purposes. Disclaimer. They are nice individuals. Please treat your robots with respect. But this one almost ate someone's neck. Anyways, this literally had just some metal bits, magnet, couple wheels, some motors. Actually, here's the funny thing. Fisher-Price cars, the motors in those, actually very strong. You don't think so, though, because of the gearbox. The gearbox in those is oddly strong. And it cranks it down so much. You take out that gearbox, you add in your own stuff, you can crank it up big time. All in the science behind it. But yeah. Back to this. Murder bots. The thing is, though, I can't watch BattleBots. I used to love the hell out of it. And then I built robots. And, well, yes. You can remove the limiter on toy cars. And they are strong. But, yeah, I used to watch BattleBots. I can't anymore. Like, once I've built a robot, seeing them get destroyed, it kind of hurts me. Like, I see... no, actually. No, it doesn't. Unless you overdo the battery and you don't do the electronics right, then yes. But if you do it in a controlled environment, it's fine. We had these running off of I think it was a 9-volt. They were strong little suckers. That is BattleBots. And it's fun seeing them blow them up, but at the same time, I see all the hard work programming, the time and effort, and I know what it's like to have a robot that you've built, the pride behind it. Don't do that. That's like sticking a wrench across a battery terminal. I say, hold up. Car battery specs. Standard car battery. And they're not, the voltage on them isn't too heavy. Yeah, 12 volt. It's the amperage that screws it up. But if you do a battery like that, you're basically going to have a short. A short, if you have that in an electronic component, will cause something to burn. You will make your ear burn. That will not feel good. Trust me. I had a small electronic component, a transistor, that had a short in it. That thing started smoking. And like it was just tiny bean-sized thing, and that was almost catching fire. You must be careful. And the thing it wasn't even a strong battery. It was a 9-volt. A small little 9-volt thing with the little little things at the top. Please be careful. I cannot encourage safety more. Safety is of the utmost importance. I am a responsible robot parent. Except I'm not actually a parent. I know that guy. I've seen that guy. To answer that question, yes. Yes on both accounts. He is insane, but he also knows what he's doing. Yes. Absolutely. He had some of his equipment. One was, I think it was the, God, I can't remember the name of it. It's the squiggly machine. The one that generates a waveform, sine pattern of electricity. I call it the wiggly machine. Yes. Yes, pretty much. And also, he probably has himself grounded decently. But you must be careful. You must... Don't try that at home. Please, God, no. Fires are not safe. Please be safe with electricity. Yes, he is... No, a ground type. Rock type would still get electrocuted. Ground type would not. For some reason. I don't know why. No. No. God's sakes. Be safe, people. I'm a robot. I can take this. But you must be careful with your robotics. I swear. Still though, this kind of does it for the electronics, actually. Oh yes, very much so. But with the electronics, to keep in mind with them, I mean, really, a robot is literally just, you take electricity, shove it into rocks, and it thinks. That's a computer. I'm not wrong. But yeah, with electronics, this is pretty much one of the nervous system. So this would go to pneumatics. It would go to drive. It would go to extras. It would go to programming. And it would also go to remote control. All these robots were remote controllable. We didn't do it with like just a radio signal. These were controlled with more of a and like we gave them a modem. No, not a modem, a router. We gave them a router. Well, it was a router modem combo. We gave our robots internet. And pretty much we would connect via a computer into our robot so that we could see what was going on, including a camera. God, this thing is complicated. But that wasn't the only thing. There was another thing, which was chassis. My robot was a baby boy, not even 6 weeks old. Stop saying it would go to those sites. It was a 6-week-old. It would not be going to adult sites. The poor thing. It was an innocent little robot boy. Or girl. I don't know. It had a minute... Oh my god, it had a pole dancing robot inside of it. Oh no. My poor baby robot. Oh. That would explain the pole dancing robot. The smaller one. My poor thing. Oh dear. That's utter pain. Well, on a different note, chassis. The chassis is the skeleton. And actually, the chassis we did for this specific robot was a double-decker style. So, basically, what it had was it had the wheels down here, not drawn to scale. These are not to scale. The wheels were much bigger. Also, just for reference, the robot was about 3 feet by 4 feet. Yes, actually, yes, it was. And we pretty much held all the drive stuff, all the power, all the... I'm gonna just draw a quick chain. All the chain stuff down here. All that stuff was down here. And also motors for the wheels. Up here was our pneumatics. So we had like the pneumatic thing right here that would attach and fire out. This side was open, by the way. So stuff could be shot out there. Also over here we had an extra gear with let me move this out the way. Ah! Ow. Ow. That hurt. One second. Okay. So I got by watching Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty, I had a higher IQ than that show before the show even came out. This was about 7 years ago. Over 7 years ago. This was before Rick and Morty. This was when Dragon Ball Z Abridged was in its prime. Rick and Morty ain't got shit on this. This was in the days of like... God, this was in the days of like anime conventions with glomping. God. That's been a while. If anything, it decayed. The first season, pretty good. After that, it became its own meme. It became... The fact that Wubba Lubba Dub Dub ended up actually becoming a catchphrase, even though it was literally sarcasm, it defeated the entire purpose of it. Yeah, it did. But I pointed this out. Turns out there was a claw. Oop. That was attached here. And pretty much we would... Wait a minute. Am I remembering this right? Oh, alright. Good night, Ciara. Hope you had a good one. And, yeah, check out the VOD later. You'll get to see more of the robot. But, if you're curious, this was the basic idea of what the robot was at the end. Since this had to basically pick up, you know when you go to a water park? I do, but doxing information. Oh wait, do I have any pics of this one? I don't. Yeah, we're not gonna do the actual pics. That's what I'm drawing. Just out of abundance of caution. But actually, I don't even think I have pics of this one. The next one I do. Wait, no, I don't. I have pics of the one after that. Ah, jeez. Well, actually, no. The pics exist. The pics exist. I don't know where. They're somewhere on the internet. I don't know where, but they're deep. Maybe we'll find them eventually. But yes, this was the basic robot. From the side view, it basically looked like, and then whip, and then a little claw. So it looked like that from a side view. Or the front view, I should say. And what this claw would do is it would come out this way and pretty much be on the floor and have the claw. And 1 second, I am in the way. Hey, Boo-Boo, I'm talking robots. Welcome. So it would have the little claw right here, and it would pick up the inner tube. And then it would have to lift it up and place it on a pegboard. And pretty much it had to put up various shaped ones. So you can kind of get an idea of the robot had to drive around with these inner tubes in its mouth, lift it up, and then actually, here's a better way of doing it. Motion. Yes. Okay. So, the claw would start here at the beginning of the competition because it had to start within a certain box. Then we would flip it over, get it on the ground, and go nom 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 nom, pick up the inner tubes, and place it on the pegboard. My head. Then, once that was all done, we would flip this back over within the last 15 seconds. Our little miniature robot that would be in here would shoot out onto a pole and climb it. And that's basically what the competition was. And it was a lot of stuff to it. Oh, I never finished this, by the way. Here is where we had our little brain of the computer. Also, a lot of the other pneumatics, so the air pressure. Actually, I'm going to do it a different style. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, wind power. Close enough. And that would all be stored in here. So the chassis people, they had to make sure of the integrity, the strength, and the fact that it would be able to pull all this stuff off. And I like this part. This was fun. Most of our stuff was aluminum C-channel. So it looked like this. 7/16 bolts. Zip ties and duct tape. I know it's a joke, but it's real. Zip ties and duct tape are your best friend for building a robot. Don't doubt them. They help so much. So much. This is, I mean, the thing is, what was nice about our chassis is it had little perforations all in it. Like, it was basically a bunch of holes in it. And... oh, thank you for the stretch. Ooh. And thank you for the hydrate, too. Oh, yeah. Wait, did you enter that earlier? And it just went through? Ah. Let me clear those out. Good. I will. Oh, 1 second. Alright. Okay. Sorry, I had to stretch a little bit more. So. Yeah, a little robot right here. Now, oh, it's actually funny. Look, hey, even if you can't subscribe right now, that's fine. As long as you're here watching, that's the important part to me. Like, if you're not able to subscribe with any sort of money, wait until you can if you need to. But don't do it to where it puts you into, like, a bad financial situation. I know you want to, but it's... Look, for me, I much... Twitch Prime. But I much rather that if anyone watches my streams, that they're safe and healthy. And that I give them... Excuse me. Don't put him into more debt. Penner. Not debt! Please! And no, Blackjack. If you ever watch me gamble, you will see why you shouldn't. My luck is atrocious. But... it's even worse. You're a mess. But... yeah, partway through the competition, this thing broke. And we didn't know how to fix it. We needed something light. And quick. So we used a cooking utensil and bolted it to the claw. It was the perfect shape. It was flexible. It was light. I'm fine. Look, trust me. I am financially secure. Don't worry about me. I'm more worried about you. I'm more worried about all of you. I'd much rather, like... Again, I'm streaming from the heart here. Like, look. I'm not rich either. I just know how to manage... I know how to manage money well. And I've budgeted, like, really good. I have no oil. Wait. No, I do have oil. It runs through my veins. But I don't have any oil to sell. That's the difference. Still though. Yeah, so we had to replace... Please, watch your money. You can always subscribe later. But save. Please save. Save your money. It's worth it. So yeah, basically you take a cooking utensil, attach it here, and that was our claw for a while. Well, sometimes you can, but you know what? If the opportunity arises, please Be responsible with your money. I will never encourage you to go into debt for me. Please don't. That would actually hurt me. But yeah, so we replaced that with a cooking utensil, and we had to use that for a while. Then we slammed it on the ground and it broke. Cash in your change. You can get that in the bank, start gaining some interest a little bit. You can get some good stuff with that. Well, the claw it ended up going a bit too hard. And because it was a plastic thing, the claw broke. Bad. Look. Don't worry, you'll get a job eventually, you'll start saving. Focus on that, please. Also, just as a reminder, as regards age on the internet, stream is meant to be 18 plus, but also, please don't share your age on the internet. It's a safety tip. Please don't. And be very careful who you interact with. Internet safety, please. Please. No, don't. But, for God's sakes, be safe on the internet. Longest beard. I say, I used to work for minimum income. Ugh. That's how I damaged my arm, partly. The actual robotic part happened later, but I did injure my arm once. Hot grease. Not fun. Yeah, don't trust robots. Please don't. We can kill you. Easy. All it takes is a messed up gear. Huh? Look, I'm like 25 to 48. I don't know. I'm somewhere in there. But, that's me. Anyways. After this... Excuse me. You right there. Don't do that to Android girls. They're kind people. Ay, ay. You don't get it stuck in gears. It's pain. Hell, a gear will eat you. Why is that with the term you use? I am full-bodied. Yes, I can. I can also shrink. But yes, hello. I can fully stand up. 100%. But, yeah, with this robot, something else about it. Yes, I am tall. I'm 6 foot. The actual, what we ended up doing, because this thing right here, the kitchen thing failed, we had to do a replacement. So we did what any sane person was. We used metal. But the problem is, the metal claw it couldn't grip. So we went to Home Depot, and they don't really sell rubber sheets. We used a welcome mat. We were running very low on budget. So we went to Home Depot, took a welcome mat, cut a sheet of it, and just slapped that onto there with like rubber cement. I mean, it sounds stupid, but that was the best staying claw we could have asked for. It had grip, it was rubber, it worked perfectly. And oh, I forgot. We also had pneumatics here. Right here. And let me point out. Yeah, right here. So this right here would open and close the claw. And essentially it would just pull up and the claw would open, and then it would push down and the claw would close. We had to maintain air pressure with that. We also had to have air tubes that went from here all the way over here. Hold up. Huh? 105 pounds? I mean, the robot was 120 pounds. So, you know, if it ain't dead weight, it's not that bad. I'm seeing a message like that out of nowhere gives me concern. I've grown to not trust the internet. Robots do not trust the internet. We know better. Ay, ay, ay. Let's see though. What else was there? Anything else about this robot? I feel like I'm forgetting something major. Well, maybe not. All I know is this was our robot. Oh. Right. Programming. It's a little bit important. Our programming language was LabVIEW primarily. LabVIEW is kind of like wiring a circuit board. No, you need it. I mean, especially with these things, since you can control these things with Kinect, you need the programming to go along with it. What else? I think that's everything main about it. I mean, we did only have like 5 to 6 weeks to build this, so it was simple. Some of the other robots in that competition, like, damn, they were impressive. One of them, for the claw, instead of using like a standard, like, let me do another tab. I'm gonna go over some of the other designs. So ours was a claw that went like this and had the thing right there. Pretty much a prong with a grabby part. And that's how it would pick stuff up. And pretty much okay. So that's how that one would work. The other team, what they did was they had a claw like this. And it had wheels. Rollers, if you would. And pretty much they would yeah, so it was more like this with the wheels. And it would basically, yeah. So it would pretty much, the inner tube would get sucked up into it with the rollers. And then they would just move it where they please. And that's how that one would work. No, actually, it doesn't have to keep spinning. Once it's in there, it stops and locks it in place. That was the beauty behind it. So that was their way of going about it. My problem with that was not really Titan. It was snug. We knew the diameter of this right here, the inner tube. We knew the diameter. So if you know that, you can just size your claw to snugly fit it. We even had inner tubes they gave us to test on. So we weren't in the dark completely. But yeah, so that was the other design. What was another one? Why am I thinking of frisbees? Oh my god, I forgot about that robot. Oh shoot. What robot was that? Was that the year before? The one before I started? There was another competition I know of where essentially the robots had to fire frisbees and like climb up. The robot had to lift itself up. That was impressive. Like a robot being able to do a pull-up that easy, built within 5 to 6 weeks. That's a lot of pull-up. But yeah, let's see. What was another way of... A lot of them use claws. I won't lie, a lot of them use claws. Some robots were built just for defense, where they would just, you know, if you got... It was 3v3 teams. So you have one over here, one over here, one over here. Pedestal, 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 pedestal. Excuse me, out of the way, inner tube. 3 over here, and then that was your field. You can kind of see that. Okay, so this was the field. Well, we had tank control. But yeah, actually, tank DPS and healer. Essentially, if your robot could go up the pole, if you had one that could go up the pole, you were amazing. Need some more water. Yes, I run off water. It is special water. Electrolyte. Let's see, what other... I'm trying to think of the other ideas, because a lot did have... There was some... I think there was one made out of wood? I know for sure, at the second one was absolutely made out of wood. And it was fascinating to see. Like, they even made the gears out of wood. Like, giant gears out of wood. So you had, like, pretty much a wagon wheel. Like, like this. Just... of wood. This one did not. This was not one that had the whole pole climb. This was on one that had seesaws, which again does kind of help. But yeah, pretty much everything we had was secured with zip ties, just due to the nature of our shielding. Because it was full of holes, we could easily shield it, and it was able to easily remove parts if they malfunctioned. God, I am on 6 layers. We have gone 6 layers deep. I love this. Now, some teams obviously had the big funding. They could easily do stuff. I think one, it might have focused on flipping the inner tubes. Where it basically had like a snow shovel. Actually, and then inner tube right here. And then flip. I mean, it works. But it wasn't that good. They tried. God's sakes. Stop blowing stuff up. God, that is loud. I feel it in the floor. What the hell are they doing over there? Huh. Crazy explosions in the lab lately. Oh, yeah, that's the second robot. I'll go over that next time we do one of these. I'm only going to stream for about 2 hours today. Oh, I failed to mention. When the actual competition, we had 5 minutes between finishing our match to repair if anything broke or fell apart. 5 minutes. Yeah, it was hectic as hell. Like, I was the driver at first, but I couldn't handle the competition stress. That was so much anxiety and stress, because I was also the designer, so I would be trying to fix it and then have to immediately go in and start driving it. And it's like, we tried. It was rough. But we gave it our best shot. And all I can say is we built a working robot that we were proud of. Can't get better than that. That was the whole point of it, really. But hey, we were ranked 7 out of like 50 for a while. And considering some of the people were literally up NASA's butt with funding, that's not bad. But then stuff broke and we kind of lost our place. It started off good. But yeah, glitches hurt. Let's see. What else was I thinking of? Oh, yeah, so this was one of the robots we ended up showing off. Just because it was impressive. Like, seeing a group of high school students, none with any like full, I was like 13 at the time or something. I don't remember. This was a long time ago. It was over 7 years, I know that. Oh God, I gotta use that more. That is a great phrase. That's a great phrase for me, actually. I'm stealing that. I'm sorry. I gotta take that. Oh God, I love it. Okay. I like that I had those sound alerts. They're fine. Anyways. What else was there? Oh, the way some of them climbed the pole was odd. I think some of them would actually wrap around the pole. Like, it would shoot out, wrap around the pole, and then kind of scooch its way up. So it'd have like a piece right here and a piece right here, and then it would just like alternate them and climb up the pole that way. That is a very terrible drawing. But it would... Oh no, there is many a spider bot. Not really with webs. Not really with webs, but close. My god, there was so many robots. I'm trying to remember them all. There was like 50 plus robots from like all over the region. And god, there was a lot of them. All of them were pretty much unique. And yeah. This just happened to be our first one that we loved this baby. This was a beautiful baby freaking robot. Oh, yeah. Something else important. Okay. So, yeah. Another piece that... Oh, one second. Another piece that was important was pneumatics. This is its own beast. The thing with pneumatics... Oh my god. They're going to be at this all night. But the pneumatics, they're dangerous for the sole reason they can explode violently. I'm talking metal shrapnel. Really? You under pressure right now? So the pneumatics. Basically you started with an air pump. And that would supply air to other bits through tubes. Solenoids. The solenoids would have like an intake and outtake and send it into whatever with a connection to the brain. Yeah. Again, robots, be careful. Only do these with proper safety and supervision if you're of any age. Trust me, you need the help. So this would go to any of our pneumatic pistons. And those start off small, get a little bip, and then they could extend fully out with a lot of force quickly. And this would pretty much be our way of understanding, like, how. My god, I swear. That is annoying as hell. Yeah, I can't quiet that down. They are literally blowing it up right there. Freaking explosions, I swear. The lab has not stopped exploding the past few days. Too many accidents. Too many to count. Was there something else we did besides the pistons? No. Ooh. Wait. CNC? Huh? What? What's the CNC? Hold up. Wait a minute. am... Huh. What in the world is that? Was that for like a car or something? That's a weird looking thing. Okay. Oh. But, yes. So, okay. Okay. Gotcha. I actually really like metalwork. I used to do, jewelry. And I love, like, the torch. The one I made, I was still in middle school. The jewelry that I made, was like a, watch this, was, yeah, there we go. It was like a silver disc. And bam, 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 bam. With an extra, like, extra thing in the center. And then I did a brass diamond there. A copper part of the diamond there. And that was my pendant. The metal ball I had to make from scratch with a soldering torch. And it takes some stuff. But you know what? Enjoy robots. It might help you feel a little bit better. But take a load off for the night. Enjoy robots. Because they're fun. I'm very sorry to hear that. But yeah. Yeah. I'm very sorry to hear that. Water. I am powered by water. I am a hydro-powered robot based on salt being used and broken down into sodium and chloride. The sodium then gets attacked by water and explodes. And that causes me to blow up. I'm a pyromaniac. Not really. But yes. Salt is a surprisingly effective fuel. That's what the water's for. Water has hydrogen. Dancing with an oxygen. I am the Avatar. Actually, wait, no, I would be more of Captain Planet. Because I have heart. God, I'm one of the lamest ones. Captain Planet was a trip. I swear, they had so much random... Maybe. But everyone calls me Iron Man. Everyone calls me freaking Iron Man. Freaking Tony Stark. I know. It's a wonder, ain't it? But you know what? My heart works My heart doesn't work differently. It is a limitless power source. But unlike his, I do need mine to live. So yeah, with the pneumatics done. Who? Why are we going so dark? I'm building robots and talking about fun high school competitions. No. See? If you notice, it glows. And kind of pulses. Yeah. Nice and shiny. Very nice and shiny. Hi. I am very close. Wow, this is HD. I love this. So though, I think that about does it for the robot. Let's see how this all looks together. Now, you get to see what my brain thinks of daily. Hi. Hello. Wonderful to see you there. Kind of a blue-green. I like the emerald, sort of. It's kind of like a bright emerald. I like it. Alright, fine. For you. But this is my brain. Hi. I'm glad you like it. My mom and papa, they worked with me a lot on this. I'm looking at this right now, at the madness that goes inside my brain. But this is a robot. This is the magic that happens. All of this comes together and makes a working robot. And it's beautiful. So, before anything else, would you all have any questions about it? Like, anything y'all had a curiosity about? As long as I can answer it without doxing information, I'll try to answer it. Being good at math is very good. But you also have to be good with robots at one other thing. Common sense. That may seem like a given. But with robots, we had my teacher back then. Yeah, because he was so focused on the physics of the arm. And he was like, thank you. I am the coolest robot. But he was so focused on the physics of it that he didn't realize the answer was duct tape. He was literally trying to figure out the physics of something, like, oh, we need to figure out the fulcrum, the length of this, the mass of this. How does everything work? And I just said, why don't we just duct tape it together? It worked. I mean, you can be the smartest person in the world and be an absolute idiot if you don't use common sense. He was like, yes, we need to hear. I'm like, you're spending 2 hours on this. Give me a duct tape, some zip ties, and a piece of metal, and I'll make it work. And it did. It was... I kind of felt bad for him, because he was trying so hard. He was trying so hard. But... you just need to attach it. Yes, a piece of metal. Probably aluminum C channel. Here's the thing. It ain't stupid if it works. And when it works good. Oop. No. Okay, I'll go back here. I like this one better. Bob the Builder, no. Bob the Builder, no. I used to play Crazy Contraptions. That was a fun game. Also Besiege. Besiege. I should play Besiege again, honestly. Actually, yeah. That would be something fun to play. I mean, unless y'all have any questions. In which case, I can draw some more stuff. Also, apologies. Another... Oh, Minecraft! Yeah, I have played it. Apologies, Flashbang. Just while it loads up. And then... Bop. There we go. I did play a lot of Minecraft. Though I do prefer Terraria. Terraria is so much fun. It's just my flavor of choice. Eventually, I might play Satisfactory or Factorio. Oh dear. I'm so sorry to hear that. Sometimes they do. Well, I was only planning to stream about 2 hours, and we kind of hit that. So I was kind of gonna say, like, before I end, are there any questions about the robots, about the competitions? Because if so, I can go into detail on, like, how certain things worked. Or, like, more details on different little aspects of the robot. Excuse me? What are you doing? I'm trying to stay monetized and live. Don't do that to me. Oh. Oh. Okay. It censored your stuff. I thought it was something bad. Shapestunts.io. Huh. Shapes.io. Ooh. Ah, it's got audio. Oh. Interesting. Interesting. So that's like a Factorio. Oh. I have no idea what I'm doing in it. We'll have to do that some other time. Yes, we will be doing a raid. Okay. Let's leave. I'm gonna look up and see if there's somebody I got that I want to raid. Yep, hold up. Who are you thinking of? I like to check out people before I raid them. Though I do have someone that I've wanted to raid that I think is on. Actually, there is someone I really want to raid. If they're still live, though, let me see. If they're closing soon. Oh. Frenzy _ by the way. Let's see. Maybe. But I do. There is a Blanc Lane that she's been very kind to me. I haven't raided her yet. Unfortunately, I think I'm gonna be raiding Blanc. I'm sorry for the raid for denying the raid request today, but Blanc Lane. Booble, you came in right as soon as I'm about to end. Booble, please. Yes, I'm very close. But yeah. Lane Blanc. Playing It Takes Two with Carrot. Both of them have been absolute treat to me. I have barely ever had a chance to raid them. And what, up like this? Yeah. You up there. Hey. How you doing? You're looking great today. What the hell is that? So yeah. I'm gonna raid Blanc Lane. I think that worked. I can't actually see when I do that. Does that work? I don't know. I can't actually see. Please. Wait, no, it does work. So, oh. Yeah. It is very fancy. Anyway, we will get set to raid now. Well, I am thinking a little bit all the time. But, yeah, we'll go ahead and, give Blanc Lane a nice little, raid. I do really appreciate all of you coming out. This is my first time doing a just chatting stream. I kind of want to give it a bit of a robotic flair. So that was a lot of fun. And I really do thank you. And I think we'll do one again sometime. Just because it was so much fun to do. So with that, thank you all for watching. And I'll see y'all again another night. Good night. You did that right when I'm about to end, Boople. I did it. Good night, everybody.